Welcome to another car video. In this video I show you how to figure out if the fan on the radiator for your AC or your engine is working so your car doesn't overheat in the summer. It's very important that the fan, the cooling fans on the engine and on the AC work. They actually on this car, this Volkswagen Polo 9N, they are both cooling the engine coolant. So if the engine fan, the main fan is not working, the AC fan can help, and also the big fan can help the small fan. It's like a main fan and a backup fan, but the small one here is mostly for the AC, what I believe. Write in the comments below if you know that it's different, but from what I understand, the radiator of the AC is on the left here, and on the right it's the big fan that cools the radiator for the engine coolant, the big one. Here the most important one is this big one, that this one has to be working when you're driving the car, and if it is not working, at least the small fan should be working, because that would help with the engine cooling. And if the big fan doesn't work, you should not turn the AC on in your car. You should get it fixed and then use the AC. This is because if the engine coolant overheats, you can really damage your engine with a blown head gasket. It's not something you would want. And also be careful, these fans, they can start by themselves even if the car is off. If the car is hot, especially, you just stop driving it, they might start. So be very careful, keep your fingers out from the area where the fans are. And I've seen videos actually where you can remove there's this whole mounting brackets, and both fans can come out from the below of the car. But actually the big fan, I changed it and I only removed the fan. It wasn't very easy to do it. I have a video linked in below, but the small one, I never changed it, and it's starting to act funny. See, when I'm moving it here, I just put my finger on the outside a little bit, trying not to touch the middle. But this car was sitting for a few days, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And the start is really good, even after like 1 week and a half not started. Maybe 2 weeks it was off. The battery is in good shape. And I'm going to do the test with the AC. Normally, the fans don't need to start, especially if you don't start the AC, but they will start the big one especially. I think they both start. They are both on or off. But if you want to test the fan to make sure the fans are working, you have to start the AC. This is the easiest thing. You turn on the AC, and then you go and look at the fans in the front of the engine. They should be both spinning when the AC is on and blowing cold air. And you could do this even in the winter, but most probably you will try this in the summer, because this is now when we need it. So the fan is spinning. As you see, it could be like there's no problem, but actually here I was trying to show you that it's not spinning, and it was not spinning before, and this was a little bit of a disappointment. I thought, no way, the fan fixed itself. But fans don't fix themselves. It might spin sometimes and sometimes no. The big one, I replaced it with the refurbished part, so that also could stop at any point. And to have both fans off, yeah, listen to that noise. That noise wasn't there before. That's from the small fan. Yeah, that noise. It's working, but the fan has a problem. And I was thinking to refurbish the fan, because you can remove the fan and clean. Listen to that. You can. There are small contact points. There's like a carbon. I don't know how. Brushes, I think, yeah, because it's brushless motor and brushed motor. These brushes are pieces of metal or carbon that make contact with the rotor on the motor, and those can get worn out and they can be replaced actually, and it's a very easy way and cheap way to refurbish a motor. But from that noise, I kind of understand that the fan actually has a balancing problem. It's if you notice later, you will see that it's also wobbling a bit. It's a bit hard to see it in the video, but it was wobbling. And now I stopped the AC, so both fans are off. You see they are both off, and also you could see that the small one was stopped earlier than the big one. Okay, so we got the AC on, and this is what's happening. The big one, the big fan for the radiator is on, but the small fan for the AC and the radiator is off. The AC is still working, still blows cold air because of the big fan, but it will have less power. And when driving in the hot weather, like really hot these days, there is the mode where the big fan has a high power mode to try to compensate for the high temperature. And look, you take any screwdriver, and on the edge of the fan you can move it a little bit in the clockwise movement, and it starts by itself. Why I'm showing you this is so that you know that it's not a fuse or a loose cable or a broken cable or anything like that. I think the fuse might be separate from the big one, the big fan, but I'm not sure about that. It was never really a fuse problem. Every time I had a problem with the big fan, it was always the fan itself. And when I changed it, one time I refurbished it. We refurbished it a long time ago, and then it lasted for some time, and for 1 or 2 years, 2 years, 3 years maybe, and then I had to buy another one, refurbished. Actually not refurbished, just an old from another car. And now this one, the small fan, I will have to replace it. But if you are in a situation where the fan is not working, maybe the big fan is not working and you need the small one to work, if you have a stick, even a 3-branch stick, anything, only to make the fan move a little bit clockwise so it keeps starting. When you do this and you see that the fan starts, you know that there is not a problem with the relay or fuse or anything like this. That's very clear. It's a very clear indicator that the fan itself has a problem. The brushes on the fan are worn out, and also this fan is wobbly, so it's just an old worn out fan, and it would need to be replaced. So now they both stop, but you see the small one, the small fan stopped earlier. When you see the fan like that stopping earlier, it could be normal, but I believe it's because there is more resistance in the fan. I don't know, I'm not sure about that. I don't know, write in the comment section below if you think it's a good idea to remove this fan and refurbish it, replace the brushes, because that is possible, and risk having to do it again, or to replace it with a new fan and not having to touch it maybe ever again, or not in a long time, or using a used part from another car. Yeah, you see, I use this stick. This is some paper, cardboard stick to start the fan, and it does start, and it will work for until you stop the AC. It's useful to know this so that you can actually have both fans working, and this trick can work with the other fan also, the big one. Just make sure when you do that you only do it on the edge of the fan, and with a stick or a screwdriver, something like that. Don't put your hand in there, your fingers, and you should be fine. I will have to replace it at some point, but I don't know, I'm thinking to maybe try to refurbish it, but I'm already going to look for parts. I had it like this last year, and I thought I will do it later, and I never did it. And what happens, the big fan makes this woo noise, like when it's hot and you're not driving. If you're moving the airflow from the road, from the car, it can cool the radiator, but if you're not moving, you're sitting and you have the AC on, the big fan will run higher speed to compensate. Thanks for watching.